Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Hope all of you are in pin of health. May I have your attention for a while? The session will begin shortly and please mute your microphone and kindly turn on your camera throughout the events. Please take a note, there are 2 codes for these sessions. So right now, there is a code on the screen. You need to enter this code in your link as a proof of your attendance. And the last code will be appearing after the session ends. The link will be available in the chat box. Thank you. Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Hope all of you are in pain of health. May I have your attention for a while? The session will begin shortly, and please mute your microphone and kindly turn on your camera throughout the events. And please take note there are two codes for this session. There is a code on the screen, and you need to enter this code in the link as a proof of your attendance. And the last code will be appearing after the session ends, and the link will be available in the chat box. Thank you. May I have your attention for a while? The session will begin shortly. Please mute your microphone and kindly turn on your camera throughout the events. And please take note, there are two codes for these sessions, and there is a code on the screen. You need to enter this code in the link as a proof of your attendance, and the last code will be appearing after this session ends. The link will be available in the chat box. Thank you. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SCCA Qualification Pathway and the Career Opportunity. Let me introduce myself. I am Nohartini and it's my pleasure to be your MC this morning. And I would like to thank you to all of you for showing your interest in the accounting world by joining us this morning. Moving right along, it's now my pleasure to introduce our guest, Mr. Peter Gabriel, representing SCCA as our speaker for this morning. Hello, Mr. Peter.
Hello.
All
Good
right,
morning.
hi.
Hi. Is it clear?
Yeah. Is it? Yeah, it's
Sounds
clear.
also clear? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
All
Okay,
right.
so let me introduce guys a little bit about Mr. Peter. So Mr. Peter is currently the Manager of Business Development at SCCA Malaysia, and he has worked for more than 10 years in the education industry. And now he is currently delivering employer relation and the corporate students. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Peter. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Tini, for the introduction.
All right.
Again, good morning to everyone. Today I'm going to share you about the ACCA pathway including the Accelerate program that you can consider to join in, right? So before that, allow me to share my screen first, yeah? Hold on. It seems that I'm not able to share my screen. Okay, now can, hold on. Are you seeing my screen now? Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay, now let us start. Okay, today, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to share you the ACCA qualifications, the program, the pathway, and so on. So, okay, let's move on. A bit slow lah, my screen. All right, a little bit of introduction. Not to worry, I'm not going into the details as I believe that you guys actually can read this information in the website. So what I'm going to do, I'll just give you the overview about the ACCA. Now, if you look at these stats here, the statistic, you will see the number of our total number of our members, students, and our number of officers, including the number of employers that we work with. That actually makes us one of the biggest professional body, not only in Malaysia but also global. Or I can safely say that we are actually the biggest professional body. So if you can imagine the number of networks that we have and the global the ACCA global presence at this point of time, we will be around in 179 countries. So these are the potential probably countries that you can work with in the future. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mr. Peter, for interrupt. I think for our side, we are seeing two screens right now.
Sorry, you are seeing?
Two screens from you right now. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Probably
I think it will be better to make one full screen.
Okay, hold on.
All right.
Okay. Let me just stop this and then reshare again, yeah? How about now? Is it better?
I think it's the same again.
Same, it's like two screens or what?
Yeah, it's the screen also.
Okay, how do I do this? Yes. I hope it works now. Is it okay now? Or still two screen?
Yeah, okay. It's better.
It's better, yeah?
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Now, the accountancy profession here in Malaysia, yeah. So I'm sure by now you all should know or should be well aware about this number. Okay, the 60,000 here refers to the number of professional qualified accountant that our nations aspire to produce by year 2020. But if you look at the current numbers that we have now, this is actually taken from the MIA website. We only have about 37,000. So therefore, the initial plan to produce 60,000 by year 2020, it seems that we can't achieve that number. So therefore, it has now been extended to year 2030, right? So if you look at this number now, 60 that we aspire to produce, but we only have about 37. So what does it tell you here? Okay, for me, I can see opportunity. So for you all, this is actually a huge, career opportunity waiting for you at the point when you all graduated later. And on top of that, top up with the professional qualifications, I'm sure you guys going to contribute into this 60,000, the numbers that we aspire to produce. Yeah. Now, if you look at this, this diagram here, in order for you to become a chartered accountant here in Malaysia, you'll be actually bound by the Accounting Act 1967. So in order for you, say later on after you graduated from your degree and you wanted to be called as a chartered accountant, okay, so what you need to do, you need to register with MIA. So how do you do that? Of course, there is a three pathway here. I'm just going to concentrate on two, which is the accounting degree and professional qualifications. I'm sure with your degree, after you graduated and then you get the required working experience, and you can register to MIA, then eventually you become a chartered accountant. But the scenario in Malaysia, as what employers has highlighted to us, they will prefer with a candidates or the employee to have a professional qualification. So therefore, on top of your degree, you need to get a professional qualification like ACCA. Yeah. So with that, get the 3 years working experience, then you will apply to both membership, which is MIA and ACCA. Yeah. So that's how you become a chartered accountant here in Malaysia. Now, this diagram also will show you what exactly employers want. This is taken from MIA website as well. It's under the CSAP report. CSAP stands for the Committee to Strengthen the Accounting Profession in Malaysia. Now, if you refer to the blue box, it's already clearly stated that employers want someone with a professional qualification. Yeah. So in here, I can just relate some example. Now imagine in Malaysia itself, we have more than 10 or probably close to 20 public universities that producing accounting graduate. Now, how about from the private institution? Also to consider those who are actually from overseas coming back to Malaysia. So these are the people that actually looking the similar opportunity, looking for a job here in Malaysia. So how do you make yourself different from the other candidates? So you have to add value to your current qualification. For example, in this case, I would say you need or to consider to get a professional qualification. Now, on top of that, on the other boxes or the other points, he also mentions that you need to have a soft skill. Okay, for example, problem solving. An analytical skill and so on. Also, we currently in this situation where we all forced to be in this situation whereby you have to embrace in the digital platform. So again, this is something that we need to take note. We need to be agile. We need to adapt the situation. So these are the skills. Currently you all are trained to be at this point of time. Yeah. Also, to highlight, I think this is something that we have been hearing from time to time. You need to have a strong written and spoken communication skills. Okay. So I used to be like you guys. I used to sit at the Dewan Kuliah. I used to be a student, knowing that being a student, you have to do a lot of assignments. You have to do the presentations, not only assignments, you have to do the presentation in front of your fellow classmates. Now, I know how does it feel. You tend to be nervous, but trust me, this is actually a platform for you guys to practice and to keep it, to make it perfect. So again, take this as your a platform for you to practice, because I'm sure in the future when you guys work, you really have to have these kind of skills. Yeah. Now, ACCA qualification. Now, why accountancy, or why ACCA? Now, for you to consider into the professional qualification, these are the few things that I could highlight here. Let's say, for example, you know that the accountant's role are very vital to the economies and nations all over the world. Yeah, not only that you only be able to work in the practice, but you also can consider to work in any industry, be it in the commercial and many others. Yeah, even in oil and gas, bank industry, telecommunications, and so on. So your role will be needed in any of the industry. Now, the qualification also gives you the full package. You need to pass the exams, complete the ethics and experience. To combine all these three, it will make you a full, you will equip with all the skills and knowledge. Now, ACCA qualification also gives you the unique blend of skills that unrivaled. So that makes you stand out to the best employers. Now, simple example that I can give it to you here. When you pass ACCA, no one's going to ask you or questions, what is your marks for? Yeah. So it is known that when you pass the qualification or the papers, it's already good enough. Yeah. So that makes the standards quite high. Now, CPD stands for the Continuous Professional Development. Though you may probably completed your degree or your AC studies, don't think that your learning will just stop there. Yeah, at the point when you stop the point when you complete the exam, your learning will continue. Now, when you join the company, the firms, you'll be given a training from time to time. Yeah, simply because all these points or the learning here, it will keep updated. Say, for example, the IFRS, for example, it will be updated from time to time. Therefore, the company itself will invest for your training. Now, global employability and mobility, with this type of certification, qualification, it will actually become a passport for you to move around beyond Malaysia. Say, for example, at one point of time, you decide to work overseas. Then this is a platform or a passport for you to go even beyond Malaysia. I've seen a lot of our ACCA graduate or ACCA members who are currently working overseas. I met them, some of them in Melbourne, for example, or even in London. Yeah. Now, I'm not talking about this point of time because, of course, we are the pandemic situation. Probably in the next coming 5 years, you probably will move overseas, for example, to work. Yeah. Now, these are the three things, the three E's that you need to complete in order for you to become ACCM members. First, you need to complete the exam as mentioned earlier, complete the ethics as well as the experience. Now, in terms of exams, in ACCA, you need to complete 13 papers, yeah? But with your degree, most of the degree in accounting will get 9 papers exemptions. So in these situations, UKM, for example, at this point of time, I think I've been sharing with some of you that the exemptions still in we have submitted, but we do still have to do some a little bit of paperwork, revising the submissions. So currently, UKM only 7 papers exemption. Not to worry, we will definitely, do the rest of the paperwork in order for you guys to get 9 papers exemption, because in the past, UKM actually enjoy 9 papers exemption. So assuming you guys will get the 9 papers exemptions, you only left with 4 more papers in strategic professional. 2 being in the essential, and you choose 2 out of 4 in the options module. Yeah. So out these four, I'll leave it to you to choose a paper. Now, if you look at all these papers here, I would say that all these subject names, it doesn't sound like alien to you, right? So most of it you probably have covered in your degree exams. But the only thing is that in ACCA, what you need to do, you have, the difference is that ACCA module or syllabus, you have to learn into more in-depth, yeah? So more details. So therefore, this strategic professional, you will never get the exemption. You still have to pass the 4 papers. Now, exam structure. You need to achieve 50 marks to pass these papers. Yeah. And moving forward from June 2021 onwards, all ACCA papers is going to be computerized exam. The last paper-based exam was in this March. The recent exam in March. So that was the last sessions that you'll be able to do paper-based. So from June onwards, there will be no paper-based. You guys need to do computer-based exam. So what does it mean? So once you register with ACCA, you will be given an ACCA account. Register with the exam, your preferred papers. So ACCA will then allocate an exam center for you to go on. You refer to the exam centers, you just need to go there. For at the exam center, you'll be provided the workstation, meaning computer all will be provided. So you go there and just do the exam via the computer. Yeah, so that's what I said about the computer-based exam. Now, exams, there will be 4 exams in a year. 4 exam sessions. That will be every quarterly, which is March, June, September, and December. It's not necessary for you to go to every exam session. So it's up to you. If you think that you are ready for June exam, for example, then go for June. And next, if you think that September will be too soon for you to attempt exam, then don't register for September, go on. The next subsequent exam will be December. Yeah. Right. So probably you guys will be asking, what is the timeline to complete the exam? So in ACCA, under the applied knowledge and skill, that will be unlimited attempt. But once you move on to the strategic professional, you are given 7 years to complete the 4 papers. So what does it mean by 7 years? 7 years will start counting at the point when you pass the first paper. Yeah. Remember, take note, when you pass the first paper, it's not at the point when you register with ACCA. So what's going to happen after you complete 3 papers, pass all 3 papers, but 1 more paper, which is you keep attempting up to the 7 years. So what's going to happen? Papers that you pass then will exceed 7 years. If you still have not completed this level, means whatever papers you have passed but exceeding 7 years, you need to retake the paper. Yeah. But any papers that will still, which is still within 7 years, you got to keep it only that exceeds 7 years. Now, reason is that probably whatever you learned 7 years ago, it may not be applicable now. So therefore, you are required to relearn again them for the exam. Yeah. But trust me, students, I don't think so that you need the 7 years, right, to complete just 4 papers. So give yourself about probably 2 to 3 years to the max. Even when you do part-time studies, I think 3 years will be sufficient enough to complete the 4 exams. Yeah. Now, this is what that I mentioned earlier. The strategic professional, starting from June 2021, this exam will be fully computerized exam. Now, moving forward, the next elements will be the EPSM, the Ethics and Professional Skills module. What is this all about? Once you registered with ACCA, you give an account. Actually, you can you will have this in your My ACCA account, in your ACCA account. Yeah, it actually introduces you the full spectrum of the advanced ethical and professional skills. Yeah. And it will actually teach you or expose you to the realistic business situation. So what this is about, once you have this, what's going to happen is that you will be given a case study or a reading a scenario in the module. You read, you watch the video and answer the questions accordingly, yeah, through your judgment. Yeah, so this is actually expected to complete within 15 to 20 hours. It doesn't mean that you have to sit straight 20 hours when you do this. You can always start, and at the point when you feel that you have enough of the day, just save it and continue again, continue until you complete the entire module. Yeah. So in here, the 15 to 20 hours is just an estimated hours to complete. You may complete this beyond 20 hours or even less than 15 hours. Up to you. There's no wrong about that. Yeah. Now, in ACCA, there's actually a survey says that those who actually complete this EPSN actually give you the more advantage to complete the strategic professional papers. Yeah, so it actually gives you the overview. What is the exam all about? What is the coverage of all the modules? So you are actually encouraged to do this before you attempt the strategic professional papers. When I say encourage, it's still you still have actually given the options to start doing this even probably while doing the essay papers or even after you graduated. So for this, I'll leave it to you, up to your at your convenience of your time. Now, the last element will be the experience. You are required to fulfill 36 months of working practical working experience in accounting and finance related job. Yeah. So even when you do your 6 months internship, it actually will contribute to these 3 years. Yeah. So make sure that whatever you do, it must be accounting and finance. Don't tell me that you're actually interning in HR or probably later on when you look for a job, you're actually in other field, say for example, HR. So unfortunately, this actually cannot be counted as part of your 3 years working experience. Within the 3 years, you need to achieve 9 performance objectives. Yeah, and you have to find a workplace mentor in order for you to declare the 3 years working experience. Now, the highlight of this session, of course, the Accelerate program. So what this is all about. So, okay, in the past, in order for you to do ACCA, you need to graduate first, then only you'll be able to register with ACCA. Now, with this Accelerate program, you actually given the options to register while you're still pursuing your degree. Now, in this case, we'll encourage you to register when you all start coming, when you all in your year 3 or year 4. Yeah. So what is it there for you? The benefit will be you will enjoy a discounted initial registration fee. The annual subscription will be waived while you're in the degree program, and you have to start paying after you graduated. The exemption fee will be discounted and the payment will be deferred to a maximum 1 year after you graduated, and you have the options to start taking the 4 papers while you're still in the degree. Okay, when I say options here, if you think that you'll be able to cope with your degree and essay at the same time, so therefore I would definitely encourage you to at least start taking 1 or 2 papers during your degree. But if you still can go on, I think you think you'll be able to do, there's no wrong. You can even complete the entire 4 papers concurrently with your degree, because I have some students, same like you from the public uni, they started to attempt the paper while they're in year 3, and eventually at the point when they complete the degree in year 4, they also complete the 4 papers at the same time. Yeah, so it's doable. And options, if you think it's heavy for you, then register for the Accelerate program. Then probably you can consider doing it after you graduated when you work later. Yeah, so options for you. And okay, on top of this, the other things that I would like to highlight here, registering Accelerate program also will actually give you the head start in your career. Yeah, why I would say like this is that it will actually add value to your CV. In your CV, you probably can you can put in that you actually started doing your professional qualification. In the employer's perspective, they will think that you are someone committed and also towards getting your professional qualification. So it will definitely add value to your CV. It will be good for you at the point when you look for your internship or for your permanent employment later on. Now, what does Accelerate give you as a student? Like I mentioned earlier, it gives you the fast track to the ACCA membership because you have the options to start doing it at the point when you're still in your degree. You will enjoy a discounted fees, a CV that stands out, a membership to the ACCA community, because when you become our students, you actually will be connected, or you will be able to network with our ACCA community globally. And also, you'll be able to have all this career advice and opportunity. So being Accelerate students, we in ACCA Malaysia will give you, webinar on the career coaching, for example, from time to time. So you'll be able to, to have all this in terms of your career advice and progression. Now, in this table, I've actually tabulated the estimated fees that you're going to save. Now, here, I make a comparison when you register with ACCA after you graduated from your degree and while you do it with Accelerate program. Now, graduated from degree means you are registering to ACCA on the normal pathway, meaning there will be no discount at all. Now, take a look of the fee comparison. Initial registration under the Accelerate program, you only have to pay £20, whereby if you register after you graduated, you have to pay in full, which is £89. Yeah. So I also converted that the amount in Ringgit Malaysia for you to do the estimation. Now, annual subscriptions under Accelerate will be totally, it will be waived as long as you're still in the degree. You don't have to pay a single cent on that. While if you register undergraduated, the moment you register with ACCA, you have to immediately start paying the annual subscriptions. Now, under Accelerate, you will start paying your annual subscriptions after you graduated. Yeah, say for example, if you're expected to graduate in year 2021, so year 2021 annual subscription will be waived. So 2022 onwards, you have to start paying your annual subscription. Yeah. So exemption fee, you will enjoy a huge discount in here. In Accelerate program, you only have to pay £25 per paper. So all in all, for 9 papers, assuming you get 9 papers exemptions, you will only have to pay £225. Yeah, whereby if you register later on after you graduated, you have to pay in full, which costs you about over 900 plus pounds. Yeah, there will be huge amount here, over 5,000 ringgit Malaysia. Now, exemption fee deferment. Sorry, exemption fee under Accelerate, you mentioned earlier, as I mentioned earlier, you have a deferment up to 1 year after you graduated. Yeah, so at this point of time, if you want to enjoy the benefits, you only upload the official degree and transcript towards 1 year of the deferment. If you prefer to pay earlier, then you can proceed. Just need to upload your official document. ACCA will process, award you the full exemption, and issue you the invoice. Okay, so again, if you register after you graduated from your degree, at the point of processing your applications, once processed successful, you will be given invoice immediately, and you have to pay in full. If you are not able to pay, then I'm afraid your account is going to be suspended. Then you won't be able to register for the exam. Yeah. So this is the comparison. In terms of fee total saving, this is just estimated. Under the Accelerate program, estimated to spend about close to 15K. This is assuming tuition fee, which is the estimated of 9,620 for the 4 papers. Yeah. Okay, in terms of tuition, in ACCA study is quite flexible. You can consider to attend classes face-to-face with a tuition provider. So therefore, I've put the estimated fee a bit about 9,000 plus here. But should you consider to actually study on your own, be it self-study or even online study, then the fees will be much slightly or much cheaper. It will be not over 6,000, could be more, probably around 4,000, 3,000. I mean, I leave it to you, because every tuition provider, they have their different fee structure. Yeah. So non-accelerate student, then you probably have to spend close to about 20K for your entire study. This is including your tuition, your exemption, exam, and so on. Yeah. So this is the fee comparison. Now, fee and charges for the exam fees, which is payable to ACCA, I will definitely advise you to check our website, because our exam may change, may revise from time to time. Normally, it's on the yearly basis. Yeah. So also to highlight that when you're about to pay for your exam fees, please observe these three important dates, whereby when you pay, you are required to look at either early, standard, or late exam entry. Early would be definitely cheaper for you. But say, for example, if you miss the deadline, then you have to top up a few pounds, which is under the standard rate. But again, please don't go under the late entry, because it will be extremely expensive. It will be almost triple of the actual fees. Yeah. So please observe this date. If you're ready for the exam, please go for the early entry. Now, this is your so-called a proposed structure for you. When you are in your penultimate year, in year 3, for example, do consider registering with the ACCA Accelerate. Then at least consider to do one paper. Okay. Then move on. When you move on to the final year, probably another one paper. And then when you complete your degree, complete the remaining 2 papers. Again, this is just a proposed structure, like I mentioned earlier. Do at your own capability, your own ability. If you not able to add another papers, as say in your degree, then do it after you graduate, because at this point of time, the ultimate, the objective would be to complete your degree first. Yeah. So move on. The SCCA study support and resources. On top of the classes or the tuition support that you can get from our respective approved learning provider, we call LP, you also can actually explore through our ACCA website, accaglobal.com. You may want to look at the study support resources here. So go on to the website under the student tabs, click student support resources, and you actually can find all this here. You can actually look out the syllabus, study guide, the exam specimen, past year exams, including answer, or even I can highlight here the examiner's report. When you start taking your exams, you may want to know what happened in the past exam, because examiners will actually tell you what went wrong, what actually students supposed to do and not supposed to do. So these are the things that you can actually find in this tab here. Okay, feel free to explore these resources here. It's free for the students. Or even while you're still doing your degree, you may want to actually to take this, probably explore the past exams question. Take it as a practice platform. Okay, it's free. Probably it will help you in your degree exams as well. Now, I mentioned earlier, as an accelerated student, you actually enjoy this ACCA exam and make support from ACCA. So you'll be given a virtual learning center where we'll have this English language support, career coaching webinars. This is under the career progressions that I mentioned earlier. And the what we call that, the computer-based exam, the SPE, the Strategic Professional Computer-Based Exam Workshop, will give you the training, give you the information to prepare for you to go on with the exam from June 2021 onwards. And on top of that, we also provide, exam readiness workshop where you will be able to attend our 3 to 6 month online workshop to prepare you for the respective exam. In this case, we will always, currently we actually support our students for the SBR and EL papers. Yep. Now, on top of that, we also have this platform, ACCA Job Board. Okay, this is actually something similar with our current online job platform. Say, for example, LinkedIn, JobStreet, and so on. So what's going to happen here? I will encourage you to go and update your resume, your CV, and create your account. It's actually free for you all, yeah? Create an account, deposit your CV. So in here, I think 60 to 70% employers participating in this platform will be our approved employers. Now, who knows? One day the employers actually browsing through and come across your CV, they like what they saw and they will call you for an interview, yeah? So feel free, just create an account and deposit in here. And also there's also a learning platform here. You want to know how to actually create a powerful CV or job interview tips. Again, this platform will actually teach you in all, all the things that I mentioned earlier. So feel free to explore this website as well. Now, this is actually, I've actually taken some of this testimonial from our Accelerate students who actually registered and passed the paper. I asked them, should I sign Accelerate? And how is it difficult to pass the paper? So if you can see here, this is exactly the wording from the students itself. I've typed it out here. The students say, yes, definitely. Okay, definitely encourage or advise students to take up this Accelerate program. Okay, so a few keynotes, a few notes here to be taken is nevertheless, it's good platform considered if you consider it on your professional pathway and career. And then if I say, is it difficult? You say undeniably that taking ACA is definitely tougher and require more efforts. So therefore, you need to have, you just need to put extra efforts in passing the papers. The key word here, you have to manage your time well, okay? These students, I would say that she actually currently doing her internship up to September, and she will be sitting her final, the fourth paper in this coming June exam. Assuming that she passed the final paper in June, then she will actually complete her degree and ACCA at the same time. Yeah. So this is testimonial 1. This is testimonial 2. Also, students from the public uni. So he said that big yes from him to register with Accelerate. So in his opinion, again, he also admitted that it's undeniable harder than just studying for a degree, but it would definitely easier compared to studying ACCA once you have completed your degree. So in here, what I understand that if you do your ACCA much later, while you still work, while you're working later, then it will be another challenge. Okay, at the point of time, you'll be working full time, and at the same time, you'll be doing your ACCA study on a part-time basis, probably on the weekend. So you have to juggle your time as well. If you can do it now, why not? Study for your degree and ACCA at the same time actually saves time, and the momentum is still there. So why not consider do this while still in your degree study? Now, how do you start? The registrations will be to be done online. You just need to prepare 2 documents, which is your IC and the Accelerate letter, and you pay online. The £20 will be paid online using your debit or credit card. Yeah. So that's all for now, because like I mentioned earlier, currently UKM Accelerate are still not ready until the exemptions has been finalized to 9 papers. Again, leave it to us. I'm actually currently working very closely with UKM to get the remaining 2 papers to be processed and given the exemptions. Once I got it, I would immediately, apply for the Accelerate for UKM. And after I got the code, everything, I would definitely let you guys know and you are ready to register. So give me around probably latest by April or May to get all this done. At this point of time, because ACCA currently we are actually towards our end of our financial year, so this month will be impossible to get this done because ACCA HQ will be quite busy towards our financial year end. Yeah. So give me up probably between April to May to get all this done, and I will share you with the registration later on. Okay, so that's about it. Stay in touch. This is my email and my mobile number. Feel free to drop me an email or WhatsApp me if you need to ask from time to time. I'm more than happy to answer your questions. Yep. So with that, I'll give you time to probably snap photo of my contact details here, or probably I'll also post it on the chat box shortly. So with that, I end my presentation and feel free to ask questions. Yeah, Anthony, over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Peter, for inspiring talk. So if you guys have any question to our speaker, you can drop your question on the chat box. And also you guys can unmute your mic as well. I think, Mr. Peter, we have one question here.
Okay.
Okay, it's for Wang. He asked, how many papers will be exempted for UKM? 9 maximum papers, right? Will it be back normal by 2022?
Okay, that's right. Before this, up to students graduating in year 2020, UCAM exemptions actually enjoy a maximum of 9 papers. But only the recent submission, when we are about to renew the exemptions, because exemptions for each and every uni, it will be given a period of 5 years valid for 5 only. After expired, then have to renew. So the recent renewal, after it has been processed, only awarded 7 papers. So again, not to worry, I've mentioned earlier, we're actually working this very closely with UKM faculty, from the faculty to get the remaining 2 papers to be exempted. Yeah. So bear with us. Let us work on this and then to get the 9 papers exemption eventually.
All right. Anyone? So I'm waiting for the question.
Yep.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Peter. So I have a question here.
Yes, Audrey.
Can I know how's the examination and also like the whole study process during pandemic now? Because as we know, we cannot go physical class, right?
Yes, that's right. Now, okay, the current situation is that most of the classes actually conducted online. Okay, this is actually up to the institution itself. But what I know is actually all conducted online. But recently, I got to know that some of the tuition provider, they actually start opening back, means the students will be able to go back to the college to study. But generally, all is to be conducted online. Okay, so even when you feel that you're not comfortable to go back to the college, you always can opt to attend online classes. That is in terms of the tuition classes and so on. Now, in terms of exam, it's actually conducted physically, means you still have to go to the exam center to sit for the exam. There's only one situation way back in December, whereby the East Malaysia Exam Center has been closed due to the cases actually quite high, so they actually closed the center. So students have the options to do the exams through the what we call that they actually can do it through the online, and they be able to do it at home. But there's a certain requirement on this. This is on a case-by-case basis only. It's not that you have the options to do that. It's only at the point when ACCA advise you to do so. But as well for now, even in recent March exam, all actually fully to be done physically. It means you have to go to the exam center. Yep.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Peter.
Welcome, Audrey.
All right. It's another question from Amira Akila.
Yeah.
So if we get the 9 exemption papers, so we just need to take another 2 papers only, right?
No. If you are given a maximum of 9 papers, you still have to complete remaining 4 papers. Yeah, 4 papers here, like I mentioned earlier, 2 from the essential, okay, which is compulsory for you to do, which is SBR and SPL. And the other 2 papers will be under the optional paper. Optional paper, there's 4 papers in there, but you only have to choose 2. So altogether, you still have to complete 4 papers.
All right, it's from Wong also. May I know if I enroll for an accredited program, then is it possible for me to register my own through tuition provider of Methodist College Kuala Lumpur MCKL, KL Center?
Yes, once you registered with the Accelerate program, now I'll leave it to you for the tuitions. Should you feel that you wanted to register or to join the tuition from the colleges, then up to you. You can even consider to self-study or online study. If you like Wong say here, he planned to study with MCKKL. By all means, yes, you can do that. Yeah, there's no restrictions.
All right, it's from me. And so what is the SCCA pass mark actually?
You need to achieve 50 marks to pass the paper. Now, I'll leave it to you for the tuition. Should you feel that you wanted to register or to join the tuition from the colleges, up to you. You can even consider to self-study or online study. Somebody, there's a noise in the background. I can hear myself talking. Yeah, any more questions?
So anyone can ask the question to Mr. Peter. All right, it's from Zulhelmi Zakwan. So Accelerate program is open for every third-year students in every university, but you can choose your own tuition provider.
Okay, Accelerate, yes. We will encourage you to start registering when you are in your 3rd year. Okay, for public uni, I know it's mostly 4 years program. So in this case, you are encouraged to register while you in your 3rd year. Yeah. So the next question, we can choose your own tuition provider. Yes, you can. I'll leave it to you. You can choose in any institutions that you actually feel comfortable to attend to. Yep. ACCA doesn't specify that you only need to attend in one specific colleges. It can be any, I mean, it's up to your choice. Okay, I hope I've answered Zulhilmi. And I also can see questions from Aisha. Is there any scholarship available for Accelerate program? Okay, at this point of time, the scholarship that I know is, I think there's 2 main provider here, which is MyPack and Yayasan. But I think there's a terms and condition apply, which is you need to complete your degree first, then you can continue after you graduated. But I think keep your I mean, do what's that? Keep the check their website, because probably there's a plan soon to open this up to Accelerate students, meaning to say when you are still in the degree, you also have the options or opportunity to get sponsored for what we call that for your ACS study while still doing the degree. Also, you may have the options or probably explore the options with the employers. At the point when you look for your internship, probably during your interview, you may ask them, because I know some of the employers, they will consider to sponsor your study while in the internship, and of course you have to sign contract with them, whereby you need to join them after you graduated. So these are the options, but specifically for accelerate students while still in the degree, this one there's no specific sponsorship at this point of time. Yeah. Zulhidmi asked whether Sunway Test is a good option. Of course, yeah. Sunway Test is one of our platinum provider. Yes, I know that they have the options. I mean, they do provide online platform for tuition. Yeah. So probably what you can do, you can always contact them. You can ask them about the options, whether it's now open for face-to-face physical classes, or you still have the option for online tuition. Because I know for the past 1 year, I think they have been conducting the online classes for the student.
Anyone's?
I think there's a next question here. What if if
Yeah,
we don't pass
sorry.
one paper? Do we need to pay all the fees again, or just the paper? And how many attempts can students? Okay. Now, if you fail the paper, then you need to resit for the exams, right? Then exam you still need to, you still have to pay for the exam fees. About the tuitions, because since this is arrangement between you and the colleges, say for example you are actually attending classes in the colleges, then probably there will be some kind of arrangement, probably 50% off if you're receiving the paper. Okay, this is, you have to check with the colleges. Yeah. But for exam, yes, you have to pay again for the fees, only for the paper that you fail. Yeah. Then you said, how many attempts can a student sit for the program? I covered this earlier. For strategic professional, you are given 7 years timeline to complete 4 papers. Yeah. So you got to repeat the paper within the 7 years. Only if you exceed 7 years, whatever paper that you pass and exceed 7 years, then you got to repeat the paper again. Okay, until you pass all 4 papers.
All right, it's from Hokkaido. If UKM got the 9 exemption for papers, only when we are in the 4th year, do we still eligible for electric program?
Okay, accelerate program, you are eligible to register as long you're still in your degree, be it in your year 3 or year 4. Yeah, accelerate programs, again, I have to emphasize this, only for students who are still in the degree program. Once you graduated, means you have completed the exam in UKM, you're no longer eligible for this scheme.
All right, it's for Nitya. Can I take the ACCA papers in any order?
Yes, definitely. ACCA, you actually can take in any sequence. You can start with optional papers first, or even, start with optional, come back to the essential, also can. But what we will advise you, this is just a proposed or just some kind of like an advice for you. Normally in ACCA, we will advise you start with your essential paper first, okay? But again, this is up to the students, because I've seen some of them, they even started with optional, probably they start with stacks first, then come back with the essential letter. So I leave it with the students. What we will advise you.
Okay. So I think that's the question.
Yeah.
All right. So
okay, I think this from Hawaii. Do we need to update university if you take the Accelerate program? Okay, now to register with Accelerate, like I mentioned earlier, you need 2 documents to upload. One is your IC, and one is the Accelerate letter. Now, Accelerate letter, once UKM has been given the code, I will provide the template of the letter to you and to the uni. So what you need to do with the letter is that you need to get the uni, the PIC from the uni to sign the letter before you can upload into the registration platform. Okay, so in a way that you're actually informing the uni also to what we call that, to register for the Accelerate. Any other question?
Yeah, yeah, any question, guys? If you guys want to know. Oh yeah, what can I do if I think my results are incorrect?
What does it mean? Yeah, is it you say that when you sit for ACCA exam and you got a fail mark that but you think that you should pass the paper, or you want to request to recheck the exam papers? Is that what do you mean, Nitya? Okay, actually quite a few cases that students, okay, like I mentioned earlier, right? To pass ACCA exam, you need to achieve 50 marks, but somehow there's a cases of students probably achieve 48 or 49 marks. It still fails, right? So students feel that she or he should pass the paper and requested to do the papers to be remarked again. Possible, you can do that, but you have to pay. But what I advise to you is that the chances of you to pass the paper is very slim. So in the past, even when you ask to remark your paper, you still get a fail mark. Yeah. So don't waste the payment. Why might as well you use that to receipt paper. It's not that I say that to discourage you, but looking at the past previous record, when you request to recheck your paper, there's no guarantee that you will, given a pass after that. Okay, but possible to do.
And then, oh yeah,
How
sorry.
much does it cost to recheck? If I'm not wrong, I think close to £1,000, if I'm not wrong. Okay, I have to recheck on this. It's available in their website. But I know it's, I think, close to, sorry, not £1,000, £100.
And then it's from Shaz Firdaus. Are the tuitions fees different from the one tuition provider and another?
Yes, that's right. The tuition fee that charged by the tuition provider, it may differ from one to another. Yeah. So probably a difference of 100 or a couple of hundreds. So in order for you to get to know, you probably want to check with the respective colleges itself.
And it's from Wish. If I'm going to receive the paper, can I choose for the nearest period of the exam?
Yes, definitely. Say, for example, you go for the June exam, this coming June exam, and then the result normally will be released a month later. Yeah. And what happened if you fail and then you actually wanted to reattempt or resit the paper on the subsequent exam, which is in September? Yes, you can do that. Okay, which is, we will definitely encourage you, because probably the knowledge is still fresh. I mean, whatever you learn is still there. So yes, you can sit for the exam in the subsequent session, which is in September. You can do that.
So anyone?
Any more questions?
Oh yeah. It's from Nitya also. Can I resit an exam that I have already passed, if not satisfied with the mark?
I guess it can be done, but trust me, once you pass the paper, it's already good enough. So you don't really need to resit the paper. Okay, I've never, I have not heard anyone doing that before, but I think there should be an arrangement if you wish to do so. Yeah, but again, pass the exam would be good enough already. But just to share with you, though you only required to do 4 papers, right? I have actually in the past previous students. After completed the ACCA and the 2 remaining papers in the optionals, she actually wanted to do to pass the other 2 papers. It can be done also. So meaning to say, instead of doing 4 papers, which is a requirement, she actually did all 6 papers in strategic professional. It can be done.
I think this is the last question.
Mm.
All right. Okay. If you guys curious about something, you can reach for Mr. Peter, right?
Yeah, I've actually
Yes.
left my contact details here. Should you guys need to contact me or ask, feel free to drop me an email or even WhatsApp me, possible.
Right.
And also
Okay.
just to highlight that, again, I mentioned earlier, right, I'm actually currently still working closely with UKM to get the 2 remaining papers. I'm also in touch with the accounting club. So if any updates about the Accelerate, I will definitely keep you guys updated on this. Yeah, so bear with me.
Okay, thank you. Thank you to all of you who have asked a very good question, and also thanks to Mr. Peter for a very helpful explanation. And before we end the slide, we would like to Mr. Peter to join our photography session.
Okay.
Okay. All right, to all of you, you may turn on the cameras. Okay, so everyone can turn on the camera right now.
Okay, ready guys, so I will take a picture twice. Okay, I hope you could turn on your camera. Okay, come on guys, turn on your camera. Okay, first batch, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3, and smile. Okay, thank you guys.
All right,
Alright.
thank you. Okay, thank you, Mr. Peter, for joining us
Most
today.
welcome.
And to all students this morning, I hope we gain as much input as possible and being inspired. And this session is finished. Of course, but it doesn't really stop here, okay? And it will be soon be time to be thinking about organizing the next one. And I know I have enjoyed enormously today, and I hope you all have too. And for Mr. Peter, the token appreciation will be sent to your company, and we will look forward to seeing you at the next year event.
Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, as they say no of the border, stay home and stay safe, everyone, and see you next year. And for the Mr. Peter, thank you so much again, I would say, and you can leave the station.
Yeah, thank you, and hope to see you guys soon back in the
All
uni.
right.
Okay, bye-bye. Take care, everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Peter.
Yeah.
Bye. All right, for attention to all students, before you leave the session, this is the last code that all of you need to enter, and the link is in the chat box already, I think so. Yeah, it's already have. For the next SCW slot is a forum session with Mr. Gary Fernandez from Triquantum Consultation and Mr. Emmy Consulting from Tapro, and it will be starting at 2 p.m. So don't miss out, and remember to tune in into our session. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And also, don't forget to join our Instagram contest by tagging us at AEFEPUKM on your story with hashtag SCWAwesome. So you guys can posting an interesting just a picture or video or boomerang in your Instagram story, and it is compulsory to insert hashtag SCWAwesome in the caption, and also don't forget to tag us at AEFEPUKM. Thank you, everyone.